let's talk about how to handle difficult times in life. In this video, I'm going to share a few stories and share a few actionable tips which hopefully will help you and me, all of us, go through those times and still be able to handle those challenges without being defeated by them. But first, let's start with the story. In ancient times, there was this king whose name was Solomon. He was a very wise king, very wealthy, very powerful, and in his court, he had many ministers. There was one very trusted minister whose name was Benaiah. Now this King Solomon, one day he thought, let me play some mischief with this guy, and he wanted to just put him down a little bit. So he told him, I want a ring, but this is not a normal ring. This is a magical ring, and it has got this one magical quality. He said, if a happy man looks at this ring, he will become sad. But if a sad person looks at the ring, he will become happy. That is the ring that I want you to go and find. Now, King Solomon knew there is no such ring. So he knew that Benaiah will come back defeated, and he gave him 6 months' time. Now his minister, Benaiah, he went around asking about that ring, but nobody could tell anything. And 6 months were about to pass, and he was stressed about it. Then one day he happened to go to some of the poor areas in this place, the city called Jerusalem, and there was one jewelry shop. And he went there, and there was this old jeweler sitting there. He said, I want a ring, and he described what kind of ring. So this old jeweler, what he did was this. He took out a golden ring and inscribed something and gave it to Benaiah. And when he saw that, he smiled. He said, wow, this is the answer. 6 months later, King Solomon told Benaiah, okay, so now have you found the ring? He said, Your Majesty, yes, I have it. And he gave the ring to King Solomon. And King Solomon took the ring and read it, the inscription. All the joy from his face vanished. He was very happy, and now he became sad. There were a few words in Hebrew, but I'll translate in English. The words were, this too shall pass. And when the king saw this, he realized that that's true. All my kingdom, all this might, all the wealth I have, everything I have built around me, all this will one day be gone. And therefore he became sad. But I think there's a very interesting message. While it's a story, the message here is that life is impermanent. Everything changes. Good times also go, bad times also go. Nothing stays forever. But now you might think, that makes sense. Yeah, that's true. But I'm facing all these problems in my life, but I don't have the resources. I don't have a job which pays me so much that I can take care of my family, I can take care of my parents. Maybe there are other problems you have. Remember, today you may not have the resources to solve your problems, but it does not mean that you will never have the resources. Maybe today your job does not pay you enough to take care of your financial requirements, but that can change. There could be something that we can do today. But why are we not able to do that? We get so distressed with the present problems. And not just present problems, our mind projects into the future. Okay, today this is the situation. 1 year later this will happen. 2 years later it will become even worse. If we could just bring ourselves into the present moment and just accept what is right now. Just accept as an example, okay, this is where I am. This is the job I have. This is the salary I have. These are my requirements. And let me accept it as it is, without judgment. This idea is called mindfulness. How will this help? If we are able to accept, okay, this is my current situation. I'm willing to accept it as it is. Now, you are not at war with your present reality. When we stop this war with reality, our stress levels will go down, and now instead, we can fight the battle for tomorrow. But then, you might say, that will happen in some cases, but sometimes there's no solution. You have a problem, but there is no way to solve it. Maybe not today, maybe you don't know what I can do tomorrow. So what should you do when you can't even see the solution? So again, I'm going to share a story with you. There was this guy who was a school teacher, and during the Second World War, he joined the British Army, and he was deployed in Burma, where he was fighting the Japanese forces. One day, along with British troops. They were going on a patrol, and the scout, the guy who was at the front, he told them that there were a large number of Japanese forces there, and they were surrounded and there was no way to escape. Naturally, everybody got into panic and people wondering what to do. And there was a captain who was the head of that contingent. He said, okay, all of you sit down and make a cup of tea. So he told them to light a fire and start making tea. And people were like amazed, like, what does it mean? Like, make tea in the middle of this situation? And after some time, the scouts came and told them, listen, there is a small gap. The army has moved. Now there is a gap and we can quietly escape from there. And then the British captain said, all right, now let's get up, let's get ready and let's go. And then they escaped. This is a real story, and this guy, he came alive from Second World War. Now just see what happened. Just maybe a couple of hours ago, maybe an hour ago, the situation was such that they were all facing almost certain death. What could they have done? Nothing. And just by waiting, the problem got solved. That happens. Sometimes in life, we just have to wait. Remember, it's true, though it's hard to accept, that the problem is very often not the problem. The problem is our response to the problem. That problem will one day, it'll vanish. But our mind is not able to understand and accept it. And therefore, I'm going to ask you this today. Whenever you have a difficult situation, remember that situation might happen, but right now around me, probably nothing bad is happening. Enjoy, experience, be aware, be present, accept. And if there's something that you can do the best you can. And with time, hopefully, things will be better. Like I said earlier, from this first story, this too shall pass. So hopefully you found this video useful, and in future we are going to create more such videos where we'll share actionable ideas to improve your life, to live a better, happier life. If that is something of interest, subscribe to this channel and hit the bell icon for notifications. And also I would love to hear from you. What are the things that you would like us to address in our future videos? So any topic, any problems, any things that you have in mind which you want us to address, please share them in the comments to these videos, and we will read them and I will respond to future videos. Thank you once again for listening, and have a lovely day. Thank you.